I recently did an on-camera job. I don't usually do a lot of those. I think I told the agency that I'm closing the bar. Please give me more work, and they took that to mean, oh, we'll do more. We'll give you more camera jobs that you're uncomfortable with. And I was like, all right,
Sounds great to me.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of mileage out of it. But
the old archive is getting warmed up.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I crunch the numbers. I earn. Doing voiceover versus on-camera work, I make per hour, I make 5 times as much. So it's not really in my best interests to take these jobs, but also, money is better than zero.
Right.
Money.
But oh wow, they don't pay you more for being a monkey on camera?
No. I'm not quite sure why. It might just be because I haven't had many of these jobs so far. Because when I started doing when I started doing voiceover, I was making less than half of what I'm making now doing it.
Yeah.
And then eventually I was at a point where I could say, hey, I'm raising my rate. And they said, okay. I don't know that I could do that for these because a lot of these jobs are just like, we're a film crew looking for a foreigner for the day. We're willing to pay this much. That's how those work.
Oh, okay. I get
it. It doesn't come down to an hourly rate, unfortunately. And so what that means is I get paid a fraction of what I get for voice work to wake up at 6 a.m., go to a designated meeting spot to wait for a van full of film crew people to come pick me up, and then we drive out to a factory in Gifu, and that's what we did for this one. It was a promotional video for a special marker that can write on all kinds of surfaces.
Okay, good old Japanese innovation.
Yes,
just like that guy who invented the pen you can write underwater.
Yeah, they were gay. So I had to put on a work uniform.
Yeah.
Like the people who work in that. And let's just call it what it is, a costume. I did not feel in any way at ease or natural wearing these like coveralls and hard hat. And they basically just filmed me writing on metal girders with this marker. And then at the end, I have to hold up the marker and give a thumbs up.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like you're going to get a lot of mileage out of that. And I
love it already.
I don't think I was bringing the Genki for the first couple of takes because after them, the director yelled cut, and he comes up to me and he goes, Alex, tsugi no shot wa ne, party boy. And I'm like, all right, I think I know what you mean. Well,
you got it.
I think I understand what he meant by party boy, and that's just be as Genki as possible. And so I reached down deep and I just pulled out the fakest smile I have, and that made the whole room light up. They were big fans.
Man.
When you start patronizing, that's when people are like, oh yeah, see, you can do it. Which is very frustrating, very demeaning.
It has to show up on camera, dude.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, you can't use Alex's. They don't show up as Alex's on camera.
A little more of that.
I can't. Oh God. Okay, that's
see those
like Pee Wee Herman and the tape. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Can you try that?
Yeah.
You do that in the studio, right?
Yeah. Oh God. There was also, we had some trouble at the end. They had to film a close up of my hands pulling the cap off of the pen.
What, really?
But in order, why not use anybody else for this?
Yeah, a close up. So like with your face or not?
My face was only in about half of the stuff we shot. I don't know why they didn't just use somebody else.
So not this close up. For all you know.
No, it was not of my face. It was just of my hands pulling the cap off the marker.
Boy, they really cheaped out because they could have got another shot of like a model doing that.
Yeah, but it was impossible to shoot because they want me to hold the marker and the cap each with only 3 fingers.
Right.
While I'm wearing gloves.
Yeah. Oh boy.
And pull it off with one smooth motion without my hand shaking or any of that aftershake,
Now, wait a minute. That's so crazy. Again, that just sounds so crazy to me because isn't that usually faked in those kind of commercials where it's like, the thing is very smoothly taken off or put in or whatever the product is.
Yes.
It feels like, why
I think if this were... I think if this were a more professional shoot, we would have prepared an easily uncappable marker.
What is this, a public access? The local marker dispensary?
I don't know. As it is, we had to do about a dozen takes because I could not. I mean, the cap, this is a brand new marker. The cap was on there. It may as well have been glued on. It was extremely tough to get off.
You got to jimmy it or put some oil on it or something.
Yeah.
What the
oil. I suggested grinding down part of the cap.
I suggested eating it.
But there was a representative from the company there, and she was like, no, we can't damage the pen in any way.
Can I use my teeth? Right. Just stick it in your jaw there and go,
oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Look at me.
People do that. It's realistic.
It's me, Kosuke Hardman, here at work at the factory. Sometimes I ain't got both hands free to take the cap off the pen, but I got it right on the girder. So I use my teeth like so.
Hi, folks. It's me, Marker Gaijin.
Mark R. Gaijin.
Yeah, there we go. I didn't even think of that.
Hey, everyone. It's me, Mark Reginald Gaijin, here to tell you about the new marker. I want to. I can't even give the name to be funny, but I'd like to.
Oh man, Marker Gaijin.
For real though, writing legibly is important.
Unless you're a doctor, am I right? These guys with their chicken scratches.
Go on.
I just want my prescription for minoxidil.
Is that like Rogaine?
Yeah.
All right.
Was that the one from The Simpsons, or was it? It's like a take on that name.
I think the Simpsons one was a take on. I think it was Rogaine with minoxidil.
Yeah,
was the real, which as a kid always sounded like the only other word I'd heard that sounded like that was monoxide, as in carbon monoxide poisoning.
Right.
That's when and why I decided to start shaving my head.
Oh, early. Okay.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, Pokemon Gold and Silver come out with Cyndaquil, and you're like, hey, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
What does minoxidil evolve to?
Oh, no, it's minoxidil, actually.
It's No More Whoppers. Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Ray Barnholt, Emotion Engine, and with me, as always, the father of Sadomonomics, Alex Raioli.
Look, I'm not an economist. I think it's going to work. Give it time.
No. So did you like or not like it when Bonk bonked Saddam Hussein, according to that T-shirt they made in the 90s?
I quite liked it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Just checking.
What do you think was the Japanese opinion of that T-shirt?
I'm not sure anybody in Japan ever saw it. I'm sure it's one of those things where the U.S. office just made it and didn't pass it over to them,
Well, what if I start wearing one around?
That's fine. You'll be the hit of the party.
What if I finally take the one I have under glass off the wall and I start wearing it to the supermarket?
Sure.
All right.
And by the way, do you want your Fraser shirt back?
No!
Oh, okay.
And stop asking! Are you wearing it right now?
No, it's just another white shirt.
Oh. What are you wearing now? Hang on, let me see that.
One of my Hiroshi Nagai shirts.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Those are pretty. Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
Nice beach.
Yes, of course.
Cool. Well, it's been an action-packed month over here. Raymond, what's been going on with you? Let's start with you. How was your Thanksgiving? Did you have a corn?
I did not have a corn.
Oh.
Had a potato.
All right.
Some scalloped form of potato.
Cool.
I don't know if you've heard of this.
I love it when scallop is a verb.
Yeah, right.
Or an adjective, I guess. Scalloped.
Thanksgiving was fine. We had a sort of Friendsgiving with our usual friends, just
fun.
The one family. And then, over at our house, because we have the bigger house. And that was essentially it. And not a few days later, we all went again to an event in town called Enchant, which is where they put on like a Christmas light show in the soccer stadium. And it's very good for the kids. And so my son went last year and really enjoyed seeing the lights. And then very recently started to be more aware of Christmas lights and freaking out seeing them. So I'm like, okay, here we go. And so he did enjoy this go around much more than last year.
Good. Kids love lights.
He's older and wiser,
We just put up our Christmas tree yesterday, including the lights. Boy, it's I bought a fake tree last year just to keep in the storage unit or the storage closet and then take it out when it's December. And it looked pretty good last year. They don't store well, I don't think, because it looks a little off. It's not quite as good as it looked last year.
I guess it would depend on how you stored it, but sure. I mean, a lot of those things are pretty cheap and everything.
I took it apart. I put it back in the box it came in.
Yeah.
Put it back in the storage. That's about it.
Make sure it's all not, pressed up against each other too much. That sort of thing.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, we're feeling the spirit. Look at me. Look at this face.
Yeah,
I'm feeling it.
You appear to be dressed like a bicyclist, a pro bicyclist.
I just got off the Tour de France.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you wearing?
It's like a thermal thing.
Oh, okay. One of those.
It's got like a
deals.
zipper on it.
Yeah. Oh, it's a whole jacket thing.
It's not a jacket. It's just it's a thermal top.
Okay.
You know? It's
so like half of a bodysuit.
It's kind of thin. Yeah, it's like half a body. I have the other half. That's for when it gets really cold.
All right. Good enough.
It's fun.
So yeah, what are you getting me for Christmas?
I looked at your Amazon wish list. It may not have been updated recently because it's the only thing on there is Rhythm Heaven Gold.
No, that's still accurate.
Oh, is it? All right. Okay. It's on its way. Great.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Cool.
Thank you very much. All right.
Yeah. Anytime.
I still have on one of my Amazon wish lists. I have a bunch of private wish lists I use to organize stuff. I still have the Connect Steel Battalion game.
Oh.
Because I was waiting for it to go down below $5, and it never has.
Oh, no.
Even though some places, some third-party sellers will stock it and have it in stock. It was just like, well, geez. Are you ever going to drop this thing? But now it's going to be too late because it's been 10 plus years. People are going to have nostalgia for Connect pretty soon. It's going to go back up in price. So I don't know. Maybe I should just do it. It was a morbid curiosity, that game. It was Steel Battalion for Connect. Instead of a big panel of controls and things and an eject button, you just use your hands. And you wave your hands around like a magician.
I'm familiar with Connect.
To pilot a mech. Yeah. I know you are. You made the thing. But I'm talking to the audience.
Oh, right.
So, yeah. That's my Amazon wish list report. Thank you very much.
I do have a Connect lying around somewhere. Can I do anything with that? Is there anything fun I can do if I hook that up to my computer?
I don't know of anything lately.
Oh.
But sure.
All right.
It can be hooked up to a computer, yeah.
Cool.
You could do something.
Speaking of getting things for cheap, did you indulge in any of the Black Friday sales or Cyber Monday sales?
No on Cyber Monday. I don't believe in cyberspace. It's against my religion.
Oh, okay.
Pastafarianism? Yeah, I got a couple of Steam games.
What'd you get?
On sale. What did I get? Gosh darn it. You know about Steam, you just hoover up everything and then forget about it for 8 months. And plus, I'm here on the podcast and I'm so nervous. I don't even know what's going on. They had a really good sale on those Neo Geo Pocket collections. Those went down to like $6 each.
Cool.
I would get those if they're still on sale. And so, I had them on Switch, but now I can sell them on Switch and have them on my Steam Deck instead. And it wasn't the deepest discount that I was waiting for, but I decided to get the Apollo Justice trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
Because one of those is still a gap. One of those I have still not finished. So I'd finish those, and then I think I'd move on to the Great Ace Attorney collection, which I do have previously and didn't play yet.
Yeah, those are great. I like that one a lot. I don't think I've played Apollo. I don't think I've played Gyakutens for 5 and 6.
4, 5, 6?
Yeah. Yes. I played 4. I remember that was a big deal when it came out. I quite enjoyed that. And then, I think I bought 5 and it was was that the one I was like live tweeting when I was playing it because it was so full of typographical errors?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go back to it. Let's see if they brushed it up.
They did. I think they did. They did. Yeah. I remember reading that they had made a patch or something. Anyway, that's fun.
That's my answer. Those are the games I got.
I picked up for cheap, as you recommended, the Centennial Case, a Star Wars story. I forget what it's called. I think it was
Shijima story.
That's right.
As if there will be more of them.
There might. I think it was half off on Steam. I was like, yep, sure.
Sure, bro.
Picked it right up. I've been playing it in the living room, trying to get my wife interested in it so far. It's not really registering.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Me and my wife are both into it.
I think it's fun though. Yeah. Looking forward to playing the rest of the cases. Also picked up Alan Wake because it was like $3 or something. No, it was like $1.50.
Oh, okay.
Very
The
cheap.
original. The
The
original,
original,
Al
because I've
Wake.
never played it, and I've heard very good things about it and the sequel, and I thought, well, maybe this is a good time to get into that.
I liked it when it came out. Yeah,
Right.
it was a decent jaunt. It's obviously not. It's not like a real creepy horror game. It's just a good run.
Oh, is it a horror game?
Well, it's supposed to be.
Okay.
It's not going to scare you or anything. It's not going to really.
Because I'll tell you right now, me knowing absolutely nothing at all about it, having not even seen any gameplay, I just assumed it was like Max Payne.
Well, it does feel like it at times because it's the same developer, of course. But
oh, is it?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Remedy. And
cool.
It doesn't have. I don't think it has bullet time like Max Payne. I don't recall, but anyway,
Maxwell Payne. All right.
You'll have the same feel.
Cool. Game feel.
All right. Well, I hope you like it.
I do too.
I did almost jump on Persona 3 Reload.
Me too.
I think I'll wait a little bit longer.
I thought about that, and then I was like, I don't know. I'm kind of taking a break from Persona right now.
I'm just trying to get through some RPGs, between Dragon Quest and Romancing Saga. It's too much weighing on my conscience. So
it's a lot.
Yeah.
I also, of course, have Dragon Quest 3 talk. Let's save that for segment 2. We'll get into it.
We will have Dragon Quest 3 talk.
Yes. You're playing it.
You'll have more. Yeah.
I will.
I'm trying to. Yeah.
Most likely. I forgot to mention this lapse. Fuck.
You had a lapse when you mentioned last time.
I forgot to mention this last episode. I played an indie game in October called While We Wait Here. I picked it up on Steam because it was either free or incredibly cheap.
Sure.
And it turned out to just be a kind of a cute little, I don't even know what the term is anymore. There's so many different styles of game. I heard about it.
Immersive sim?
I guess. I heard about it from some folks at the bar. One of them said to the other, yeah, it's about a bunch of people stuck in a diner during the end of the world. And that's a very, very loose description that I don't think is a good encapsulation of the game. It's kind of a character study while a mysterious, thing is happening outside of this diner in the desert. Yeah, no, it's just a really good
Is
short.
it not the end of the world?
It kind of is, but it's never explained. It's just like, it goes black at the end and then you're done.
What if it was just like a new In-N-Out opened?
What do you mean?
That's a monumentous event.
You want to play a game that's about an In-N-Out opening?
If it's written well, sure.
All right, hey, let's make it together. All right.
There's lines around the block.
Oh, wait, is it like a restaurant sim? Because I don't want to play that.
No, not necessarily.
That's kind of what While We Wait Here does, is you alternate between character moments and restaurant sim, cooking and serving stuff and taking payments. And
okay.
It feels kind of, at first I thought it felt kind of silly. And then at the end, I started to feel like it has you doing all these mundane things while the world is sort of going to hell outside. And it felt weird. It was a kind of a weird juxtaposition that I think was very intentional. But I thought it was fine. The character stuff is good. The characters, I think, are written pretty well. That's what makes it interesting.
All right.
Things resolve differently depending on your choices. I have only played it through once. I might go back and take some other choices. It's got kind of a visual novel feel in that way.
Of course. Sounds like it.
Yeah, it's either free or cheap, and I recommend picking it up.
Elsewhere, Critical Hits, Dunzo.
It's gone, baby.
It's gone.
It's all gone. I
cleaning up the mess.
It's all cleaned up. I spent the last month of November cleaning up the place with some friends who, oh my gosh, Paul and Adam helped out a ton with their respective vehicles and helping me box stuff up and throw stuff away. Tom and Jason and Grant also came down to grab some stuff. I need folks to take away the alcohol and the chairs and all kinds of stuff I don't need anymore.
They'll take away the alcohol. Don't worry about that.
Oh God, yeah. Adam even we figured out how to get the pipes off the ceiling because I unscrewed them and they still were not coming down. So Adam just started hitting them real hard from the side, and sure enough, they popped right off.
He's referring to the Mario pipes, folks, just in case you
Yes.
haven't.
No, yeah. I'm not
seen
like
Critical
stealing all
Hit.
the copper pipes in the wall.
No.
Yeah, it's yeah, I had three Mario pipes on the ceiling, which in retrospect, it's not really a me thing to do to decorate a video game bar. But I think 10 years ago, I was just like, yeah, that's a video game thing, right? Like people like
Yeah,
that
right.
shit. Yeah. All right.
They're pretty subtle, I would say. You know, it
Yeah, I
works
mean,
out.
they came about because that particular property in the far end has like a circular recess in the ceiling.
Yeah, right.
And I had no idea what to do with it. I'm like, what do I? Because originally, there was a disco ball because there are lights all around the rim of that recess, and the lights would shine into the disco ball in the center, which in Japanese, of course, is mirror ball. That's a good thing to remember.
Yeah.
And I
Miller ball.
It could be Miller ball. That's true. You never know. Yeah. I'm looking at the man in the Miller. We got rid of the disco ball, and I'm like, what do I do with this? All right, Mario pipes it is. And I explained these to the design.
Yeah.
I was using an interior design company. I explained it to them, and they're like, yeah, we could do that. And they just did it first try. And it came out perfect.
Sure. Yeah. Oh wow, I guess I missed that detail back in the day that you hired an interior design company.
Yes.
And they just made you Mario pipe.
They did a lot. Yeah, they made the Mario pipes. They installed the shelving in the far end of the bar that held all the games. They installed the track lighting over the counter.
Wow. Yeah.
They installed the black carpeting.
Yeah.
They installed the big TVs on the wall and some miscellaneous stuff.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, those two TVs, those are the only... here's what I left in case anybody wants to break in.
right.
I left the big TV behind the counter, the big TV in the corner, and the whiteboard.
Okay.
And all the appliances and stuff as well, because I don't have to move those out.
And again, just in case anybody does feel like breaking in, these are not CRTs.
No.
So, yeah.
No,
They're
yeah,
not,
these
extra
are
valuable.
No. But I do love, you still see every now and then a CRT in a public place in Japan that's suspended from a ceiling.
Oh, I bet.
It's in one of those gigantic like metal boxes that are just bolted to the ceiling. I love those so much.
Yeah.
I see those every once in a while. You see those in like an old ramen shop or something. You look up in the corner and there's just a CRT in a gigantic metal encasing bolted to the ceiling. I remember
maybe 12 or 13 years ago, they would still have them at the DMV.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Oh, man.
They finally modernized a bit. Yeah.
I did not take home a CRT. I believe I gave the CRT to my buddy Adam as well. I did take home the wide plasma that was closer to the door because that's a really nice TV.
I don't know Adam that well, but he seems like a guy who would really appreciate that CRT.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Adam, he's into retro stuff. He does I think he has a YouTube channel called The Ferret. Hang on. I'm going to look this up.
Like the Malibu Comics character?
No. I had issue number 1. Is that worth anything these days?
No, you want the crossover with Street Fighter.
Damn it.
Street Fighter issue 3, I think.
Street Ferret? Oh, yeah. It is just The Ferret. The channel is at Ferret Sensei. He just does short videos about video games or even just Nagoya stuff. Some interesting, yeah. There's some footage of Critical Hit in a few of those videos you might see. Some
B-roll?
fun stuff. Yes, B-roll. I'm looking at some right. Oh, there's a whole video about it. Critical Hit, the best retro game store in Nagoya.
This is Critical Hit.
See? Great.
Fantastic.
All right, go check out Adam at Ferret Sensei. Adam's got a lot of the stuff. He took the CRT. Paul took some stuff. Jason took some stuff. Grant took some stuff. I think I left one glass. There's one medium glass in there. Again, for the people who break in and want to take it. There's also a lot of glasses that were never opened because thanks to a mix-up, Kieran sent me twice as many glasses as I needed.
Oh.
So I finished
they charge you for it?
Oh, no.
Good.
I got Kieran connections.
Okay.
They sent me a whole bunch of boxes of glasses. They came to uninstall the beer server, the little thing, the coil that cools the beer between the keg and the glass.
Nice. Technology.
I asked the landlord, can I keep the signs from outside the building? Because there are 4, I believe, there are 4 signs that say Critical Hit in the external signage. And 3 of them, I think, are the same. They're just a square with the logo. And then one of them is the vertical one in the stairway that says Kuritikaru Hito in katakana.
Right.
I wanted those so bad. And he was like, no, I can't. And I'm like, I didn't push it. I was like, all right. I did take this sign off of that was next to the door. I gave that to my buddy Tom.
Okay.
I hope he's taking good care of that. And I took the blackboard home. That's on the wall in my room.
Yeah.
Took some chairs, took a table. Yeah. That's it. I handed the keys back 2 days ago. And that's what brings us to now.
Yeah. Man, oh man. But I guess it's still not completely 100% over because you still got a pile of stuff to get rid of.
Yes. I mean, yeah, in terms of renting out that space, that is done.
Yeah.
Obviously the towel service is canceled. I canceled the internet. I mailed back the modem. I have nothing to do with that building or that room anymore.
Fantastic.
Actually, the last step of that was yesterday because I had to go down to the post office and file an address forwarding notification.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
For the next year or so, anything that goes to that address that's for Critical Hit Godo Gaisha or me will just get forwarded here.
I gotta file a mail hold myself for our vacation.
Ugh. Oh, wait, is it mail hold?
Yeah.
I've been saying mail hole.
No, well, they won't mind.
All right. So that's it. That's the end of the bar. We're sitting pretty. We're living pretty. I'm pretty, is what I'm saying.
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
We like looking at you.
Yeah.
I do apologize to the listener, first of all, that I don't have a lot going on this month or next. I feel like gearing up for that vacation. That's kind of it. I'm also really, really working hard on my game, trying to get that done according to requirements. And that's just kind of like the rest of my year here. It's just kind of hunkering down a little bit. So I haven't done anything too exciting. Just kind of going through the motions and doing the routine and buying games I won't play. You know how it goes. So
you do like to hunker.
Maybe this episode will be a little bit more swift than the others. We'll see.
Is this how you seg into your Swift boat content?
This is how I segue into maybe asking if you want to take a break.
Already? Wait a minute. Look at the clock.
Yeah, exactly.
No way. This is unacceptable. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to make things up to talk about. I joined a cult.
Jeez. All right. Fine.
It's called Whoppy Science.
That's inappropriate.
Sorry.
Is that sung like the Weird Science TV theme?
Yeah, exactly. It's run by a guy who looks like Mr. Wizard.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we have to call him.
Was he Italian?
Madoshi-san. No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think he was just, General White. I don't know.
General White.
That's the military figure in the cult.
Yeah, of course.
I have, since I did wrap up the bar, I have had a kind of a sense of isolation, which I'm trying to stave off.
Like postpartum depression?
Kind of. But there's also a sense of uncertainty. And I don't, well, I say I blame my wife. I don't really blame her, but she kind of put the idea in my head. When I was talking about closing the bar, she was starting to get concerned, oh no, how are you going to make money? And I have to be like, no. The bar costs money. The bar does not make money. You don't open a bar to get rich. You open a bar because you want to fucking drink every day. Yeah.
Why do you think we live like this?
Closing the bar is going to save us a lot of money. And I have still so far been unsuccessful in actually convincing her of this. She is still worried that we're going to be in trouble now because we don't have the bar. And I'm like, no, the bar is a liability. It costs money. It doesn't make money.
I'll give it to Ruri. She has a real maternal instinct.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a real typical sort of mom worry.
I know she means well. She's just trying to help out. And I just wish I could impart to her how expensive the bar is. And I've given her the numbers and it's still, I think it's because she comes from, I was going to say a society like Japan, but it literally is Japan, where if you're not constantly working and constantly exhausted, it means you're not doing enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she comes home every day exhausted because she does work very hard, but she doesn't get paid very much for it. Meanwhile, I get paid about the same amount for doing about half the hours of work throughout the week. And she doesn't like that. And I understand that entirely. And I'm trying to better explain freelancing and how that's just the lifestyle is I don't work look, I want to work all the time. I wish I had all that work, but a lot of that time is spent looking for work and then doing the work that I do get.
Yeah.
And I have the luxury of charging more for it, but it's also a lot more unstable. And she's kind of slowly coming around to that whole concept as well.
Maybe it'll flip around in your favor once more money comes in and you become a little less in the red, maybe?
I think so. Yeah, I have to constantly keep showing her like bank statements and jobs I've completed. Yeah, and I like show her like, hey, look what I got from this job this month. Look what I got from this job this month. And it all adds up to what she makes. And you know, in that case, she's like, okay, yeah, that's pretty good. That's all right. It's just
you got to remember that.
I feel like I'm constantly being watched if we're both home at the same time and I'm not working. Like if I'm just on the couch, you know, hey, it's lunchtime and I'm watching Star Trek, then I start to feel like, oh, I'm being scrutinized.
Oh dear. Yeah.
But a lot of that is just me because that's how my brain is. I blame myself.
Well, as long as you keep in communication, you should be all right.
Yes, we are communicating better, which is very helpful. Everyone should communicate better. Blah, 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 blah.
All right.
Coob.
Punctuated by us leaving dead air for 3 seconds.
Snuh.
We're on top of the should communicate better list. Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you call me every morning?
All right, I can do that.
All right.
Your morning or my morning?
Both. We need to have twice daily breakfast chats.
Okay. Sure.
Well, what do you got there? Like a muesli?
No, oatmeal.
No, that's me. I'm the oatmeal guy.
No,
we can't both be the oatmeal guy.
No, come on.
Fine. I'll switch to cream of wheat.
I've been doing it because of you.
What do you put in there?
Right now, just honey.
All right. No, honey's good. Is it real honey? Because that shit's expensive.
It's Costco honey. For
Kirkland?
Now. Yeah.
All right.
Kirk signed off on it.
Cool. Oh, speaking of Kirk, I've made the mistake of watching TNG before the original series in my Star Trek watch-a-thon.
Okay, why is that a mistake?
TOS is real hard to go back to. I'm finding it very rough.
Yeah.
I finished up TNG. I quite enjoyed TNG, obviously. It's very charming. Everything about it's very fun. I love the characters and the performances. Right. It's great all around. TOS, I think instead of Star Trek, a better name for this series would probably have been Unga Bunga Vava Voom, a woman. Because it is so fucking horny, and I keep looking at my remote. Is there like a horniness slider I can slide all the way down? It's not there. It's so horny in a very male-centric way that is so distracting that I kind of have trouble taking any of it seriously. And I'm only 7 or 8 episodes in. I'm already thinking about dropping it. Like I'm thinking about watching the movies and only the movies.
Right. But then, that got carried over into like season 1 of TNG, right? Because season 1, TNG was supposed to be like a sequel series to the original.
Yes, but it was still very
and everything. Yeah, but they had some scripts and retooled some scripts, and Roddenberry, kind of writing things the way a 60s sci-fi writer would.
Yes, hornily.
Yeah. And wordily.
Yes.
Just look at the episode titles, for God's sake.
That's the other pitfall is that episodes feel very, very slow.
Right.
Because they are introducing concepts to television and introducing concepts to sci-fi audiences that we understood by the 80s, and TNG didn't have to go in depth explaining things. Here, like TOS, two people will have a conversation with a lot of pauses, a lot of silences. And then at the end of a few minutes of that, they will say something that is supposed to be a jarring revelation, like, if we don't get them off of the planet before nightfall, everyone will die. And then there's a jarring chord. There's a sting before it goes to commercial.
Yeah.
And I feel like in TNG, like all of that would have happened within 30 seconds. All of that, like TNG is so much more economical with its storytelling and the way that it presents the script. TOS is like, I'm not like shitting on TOS necessarily. It's from the 60s, a time when man was still evolving from ape. There's a lot of aspects about it that have improved in all television. But yeah, going back and watching it, it's a rough watch, even from a historical standpoint.
Yeah, well, yeah, hopefully no one actually gets offended. I think we've had enough bitching about Star Trek on the internet for 50 years, but
oh yeah.
That's right. Before the internet was even invented, when it was still ARPANET, I'm sure people were bitching about Star Trek.
Of course.
But yeah, I just, you say something like that and I just think back to how I consider Atari 2600 games. Like, yeah, a lot of those are like good arcade type games, but they're not sticking with me.
Yeah, that's exactly how I
with you.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. And I mentioned this in my pixel art video about how I consider the NES/SMS to be the birth of my video gaming life. Like, I know games came before that, but like you said, they're just like, yeah, this looks like a thing I would play in a bowling alley for 5 minutes to wait for my turn, not like an experience to have. I've been listening a lot to Eggplant, The Secret Life of Games, that podcast. You heard of this, Kev?
Yes.
All right. Because they're doing a weekly series on UFO 50, they're doing one episode a week for a year, all about UFO 50. They're profiling each game in one episode, every episode. And it's fascinating listening to actual game devs talk about UFO 50 specifically, but they also touch on a lot of topics that remind me I'm not cut out for that sort of game criticism. My depth of game criticism is purely story-based, I think. And I think that comes from me being a creative writing major, is I'm interested in story, and that's about it. They're talking about things like, reinforcing player behavior, and I'm like, well, that's above my head. I don't know what you're talking about, buddy.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, sometimes I feel like that too. It's just like, oh, I guess I have to have studied design.
Yeah, there's a lot of game design terms being thrown around that I'm like, I understand what you're talking about through context clues, but that's a concept that I've never thought about, and I don't think I need to think about.
Yeah.
I made this realization the other day too. I think it stems from my major, the creative writing thing, because like, how I'm a weirdo about RPG stories. Stories are very important to me. That's the only reason I play RPGs, really. I realize in the same vein, I feel that way about song lyrics. I think if song lyrics aren't interesting, I'm just out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I think I attribute They Might Be Giants to this, because I started listening, like all of us 40-something nerds, I started listening to They Might Be Giants because of Tiny Toons when I was like, 9 or 10. And when you're 9 or 10 and you suddenly have a whole library of music with meaningful or interesting or challenging lyrics, you kind of come to expect that from everything. And then when you don't get it, you're like, this is dumb. Why am I listening to this? Like I couldn't, it's why I've always had trouble grappling with most, not all, but most pop music, if it's just kind of hewing towards the shallow end of like, boy, I'm in love with this person, but they don't love me. Like, all right, that's great, but it's unless the rhythm is really doing the heavy lifting here, I don't think I can stick around.
Man, so have you listened to any of the Mountain Goats?
No.
Well, I feel like if you like They Might Be Giants for the lyrics, you should try them.
Okay. I like good lyrics.
Yeah. Give some of that a try.
I will.
Or do that thing where you don't listen to it out of spite.
I'll do that too.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
Whatever works for you.
I'm flexible.
I could go either way.
That's right.
Fantastic. Yeah, I don't always pay attention to lyrics. Then again, I do listen to a lot of Japanese music.
Well, that's actually one of my criticisms. One of my few criticisms about the FF14 soundtrack is that the actual compositions are by Masayoshi Soken, who is doing great things. He's making unique boss themes for every new boss that comes out. in an
He's
expansion.
a unique boss.
He himself is a unique boss. But all of the lyrics are written by Koji Fox, who I don't think is a great lyricist. I think a lot of
He's
his
an
lyrics.
RPG nerd.
Yeah, he's not just an RPG nerd. Like, he must have interest in other things. I
don't mean to insult him or anything, but the core personality between a lot of people who work in localization in games, and especially like Square Enix stuff, like they're kind of those literary RPG nerds, and that's fine. It sure helps them with their job. I mean, they do good jobs, of course, but
I feel like that helps something like FF14, which needs to draw on all of those different things to kind of coalesce into a cohesive, a well-written thing. And it does, and that's all great. I kind of wish they would farm out the lyrics to somebody else.
Yeah. Well, that's also that dovetails into my issue with a lot of like songs that are being made for games now, where it's just like you're kind of hiring the voice actors to do the singing.
Oh no.
And some of them may be trained singers, but some of them may have been trained singers for like a week. And it still just sounds like a voice actor singing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what we had a fight about during the Ninja Turtles live stream a couple years ago.
Oh, really? Wait, I don't remember that.
I brought it up, and then you like had a fit because I said it out of pocket, basically.
What? Wait, why would I throw a fit?
Because of the way I said it out of pocket.
All right.
You just thought I was being too negative or something like that. I forget. Folks, check out the archived video. It's on our YouTube channel.
I'll drop the entire stream in right here.
No, that's okay.
Now we'll get some answers.
But yeah, that sort of thing with like maybe not the expected people writing the lyrics, and maybe not always the expected people singing the lyrics.
Yes.
Kind of a dual thing going on, I think, in video games right now.
There's also one of my pet peeves is when you put the emphasis on the wrong syllable in a word in order to make it fit in a line of lyrics.
Jesus Christ, Alex.
What? No, for real.
75% of songs.
No, it's not.
It's like doing a bad freestyle rap.
Well, yeah.
I eat my lettuce, then I go on the trellis.
Get off of there. That's dangerous. Oh, wow. Ray's spitting bars. It's incredible. I have a habit of going back and listening to all the Comedy Bang Bang year-end best ofs every once in a while. Like, I'll go all the way back to 2009 and listen to every year's best ofs. I'm really glad, like 5 or 6 or 7 years ago, when they just kind of quietly stopped doing the rap battles, because they're like, they're not good. The only time they were good was when Reggie Watts was doing them, because that's his deal. He's an improv musician. An improv musician is gonna be good at doing a rap battle, but everyone else from that era was just kind of awkward white comedians, and that was kind of the joke for a time, was look how bad they are.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But it's improv. Improv class, more like, which are, is a different thing entirely. Chevy Suburban, act like Carl Urban. That's
you can't rhyme urban with urban.
Yeah, no.
Even if they're different urbans.
Let's take a break. How about?
All right, that's a good idea.
That's a good idea. We'll be back with more Whoperinos after this.
Folks, welcome back to the show. It's No More Whoppers. I'm Alex. That's Ray.
Yes, it is.
How you doing?
This is welcome to Indeterminate Quantity of Whoppers.
That's us. Well, I realize that sometimes a lot of a show goes by when no drops happen because I just have my soundboard on the other monitor.
32X.
Let's fix that.
Yeah, same with me, right? It happens to me all the
Pac-Man,
time.
you're fucked.
Jesus Christ.
That's the joke.
Yeah, we got Whoppers here.
All right. Dragon Quest III, high definition, 2-dimensional remake is out.
The new version of a game called Dragon Quest.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Yeah, that's the one.
It's out, and
Proud?
apparently it's a big piece of shit. Alex, you have the floor.
It's. I will say right now, I don't think it's a big piece of shit. I think it's a little misguided. I think they make some choices that I wouldn't have made.
Yeah. Well,
I think part of this may be from my own misunderstanding of who the target audience is.
not you.
Yeah, maybe this was me being selfish, but I'm like, oh, you're remaking Dragon Quest III. Obviously, the market is 40 to 50 something nerds who played the Famicom version growing up. And it's absolutely not. It's modern day youngins who need a game to be more accessible, I guess. And so they've added a bunch of QOL stuff, some of which I understand, like a mini map. That's great. Love a miniature map in the corner. I love that the FF Pixel Remasters added that. That's great. Don't understand why the zoom and evac spells now cost 0 MP and you can cast zoom from inside now? Why have the evac spell then? What's the point of any of this?
Yeah, that was interesting. That was an
They
interesting choice, I thought.
They already made a concession with, I think they started it with the later remakes, the later 2D or ports of the remakes. They reduced the cost of it to 1. So anybody who played the Dragon Quest, I think maybe even in DQ8 they did this. If you played DQ8, definitely DQ11, Zoom only costs 1 MP because they're like, you know what? 8 is a little excessive. Let's lower it to 1. And now they're just like, no, you know what? Free all the time. Hi.
There seems to be like a conscious acknowledgement that a lot of games have fast travel now. But maybe we don't want to do the thing where you just open up a map and click on a dot. Let's do it a Dragon Quest way, which was always the zoom spell.
Yeah.
But let's make it really cheap.
Is that the approach? Is it just, well, fast travel shouldn't cost anything and all games have to have fast travel, so we've fixed it. Like, is that what you're doing?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Oh boy. There's also an abundance of crap just lying around the world map. Which
oh, that's right, yeah.
For the first
piles of crap.
For the first hour or so of the game, it's all useful because you're just starting out. And then as soon as you get to the Second Kingdom, it's all like maybe there's some stat increasing seeds, but it's all like 4 copper swords, 3 suits of leather armor. Why? Who is this for? What is this for? Why have you just put garbage on the map? Because it's a sparkly, it's a shiny thing that you want to approach and engage with. And so you feel compelled to do that. And then you do, and you're disappointed because it's 2 chain sickles and a special herb. What the fuck is the point of that?
Yeah, but you get some money off of it, right? Okay, now hold on. For the rest of this conversation, maybe not entirely, but I'm going to try and be devil's advocate from the developer side, okay?
All right, okay, good.
And that may mean I'm going to say some stupid things that you're going to yell at. But for you and everyone else listening, hear me out. And that would just be that... yeah, you could make some easy money off of that in this sort of early to mid game. But I think the reasonable expectation is that, yeah, later on, you don't really need any of that stuff. And so you might just be more encouraged to ignore it in the same way that you would just in any other Dragon Quest or most other RPGs in the later game when you're just grinding and whacking guys, you know, in 1 second, you're just going to pick up junk anyway. You're just going to hoover it up anyway. At least this junk on the world map is ignorable. I don't know.
Well, I have 2 ideas about this. One kind of theory is just that these came about because they increased the size of every map and they needed to fill that empty space with something.
Yeah. I mean, nothing's black and white, right? That's probably another balance consideration they did.
Yeah. Like you posted a video on our Discord of the comparison between the 8-bit original and the remake covering this same part of a dungeon. And you remarked how, look, they have to slow the original to like half speed to
Yeah.
make them match. That's how big these stupid environments are now. And they did that to the world map as well. And I think that to fill all this blank, empty space, they're like, I don't know, shiny stuff. And this kind of leads into my other theory, which is it's a quick like dopamine gotcha hit, because like maybe one in 12 of those has something useful. It's like you're gambling every time you walk up to one. It's probably going to be crap, but every time it's something that's halfway useful, your brain lights up like, oh, I got a thing.
I think it definitely depends on who is experiencing that and what they actually think about it after, 80 hours or whatever. I think it's just kind of a thing to pick up on the way there. It's not like you would, I might not veer over, go to it. I don't think I have really. I don't think I changed my course much to really go and get that stuff. Because I think I realized early on, it's just a random stuff in case I really need money. I don't know.
But that's the thing. It is useful early on. So like the game teaches you from the outset, these shiny things are valuable and you should seek them out. And so you do that. And then almost immediately you reach a point where it's like, oh, never mind. No, it's trash. Don't worry about it.
Maybe. I think maybe I caught on quick and it's like, oh, this is where this is going. But yeah.
Oh boy.
That's me.
Hi.
I do wonder about the expansion of the maps and stuff. And I think it might be kind of a knock-on effect from 11 in a way.
How do you mean?
Because 11, obviously not the same sort of game, but it is a Dragon Quest game that was a little bit more grandiose and had larger maps in some areas and felt more modern. It had all those QOL things that I think were brought over to this remake of 3 for sure. And it just feels generally weirder in a remake than it would in a brand new sequel, because you have all that previous experience and knowledge of the older version.
I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Sure.
Does that mean I won? No. I'm
No!
just kidding. It's not.
I'm not going to get too in depth on this, but this game I think is inspiring my next YouTube video, which is going to be about
Okay.
scale and how games use space.
Yeah.
Because I also got into a conversation with my buddy Adam about this same issue in this 3D games, specifically the Zelda series. How, in 1998, people were going crazy about Hyrule Field. And we started using the phrase Hyrule Field moments, like when a game opens up and you kind of realize that there's a lot of things to do and places to go. And like, I felt like the only kid in 1998 who was like, Hyrule Field sucks.
Yeah.
All it's doing is separating the fun parts of the game. And then, we got to the ultimate evolution of that, which is Breath of the Wild, what if the whole game was Hyrule Field? Oh, then I'm never playing it.
Well, there's more shit to do.
Is there though?
Hyrule Field is like the farm.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Uh,
And the postman.
yeah, I guess.
I think a similar thing happened previously with FF7, because that was a lot of people's first RPG, right? And you break out of Midgar finally, and you get the world map. And again, it's a lot of people's first time seeing a world map in such a way. And you're like, wow. And their imagination is running wild. And then, that nostalgia settles in. And then we get the remake, and then people, or rather rebirth. And it's just like, oh, wow, it's that open world as I imagined it after all these years.
Yeah.
But between that is like almost 30 years of this sort of what I would probably call this world map creep, where it becomes like a somewhat smaller thing to run around in, like FF7 original, where it's like all proportional. It's like chibi-sized world with the chibi-sized characters, and it just keeps evolving. And the RPGs get bigger onto PS2 and 3, and open world games start becoming more popular and selling more. And then those all become, and then we get like FF13, and it sort of retracts and gets criticized for not having a big open space at the very beginning or all the time.
Well, I criticized FF10 for that same reason. I was kind of disappointed that FF10 didn't have a world map. It was just a bunch of interconnected environments.
Yeah, it's interesting that it kind of stuck to its guns in a sense from 10, and then like even 11 is sort of the same way, and 13.
Yeah, on the topic of MMOs, I feel like an MMO is different because They are, in a sense, an open world, but it's a world
Yeah.
that you are sharing with other players and people, and you're going to run into people. You can adventure with people. The scale is part of that experience. It's
Yes,
not a
exactly.
hindrance the way that I feel it is in an open world, like in an offline game,
Yeah.
where it's just, hey, if everything was half the size, I could like play this game for a couple hours and accomplish something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't spend all day playing this game. Like the comparison I gave to Adam was like, imagine, you know, I'm going to do this test before I make the video, but I imagine you can walk across the entire map of Link to the Past faster than you can walk across Hyrule Field. Right?
Sure. Okay.
I think.
Maybe. That's an interesting test.
Because I'm very careful not to come off as a weirdo who hates 3D games, because that's not really what it's about. Like I like DQ8, I like DQ11, I do like FF10.
Yeah.
But there's something about how different developers use 3D to create a sense of scale. And some
Right.
developers are very sensitive to what a good scale is. And some are just like, no, the bigger the better. Make it sprawly. It should take 1,000 years to get to the next town. Why though? Is that fun? Who is that fun for? Why do we like that? And here's spoilers. I don't. I hate that shit. I do not want to have to walk for half an hour to get to the next town. I like a 2D map where everything is kind of condensed and it takes less time. This is all about saving time, basically. Scale and time are both connected. And that's, I think, one of the biggest fuck-ups of the DQ3 remake is they made everything big. They stretched everything out. It takes forever to get anywhere. On top of that, monsters are now stronger. A lot of monsters have like more abilities that can just paralyze or put to sleep the entire party because they've added new items that cure status ailments, and they want you to use them.
Oh.
That's one of the things I liked about DQ as a kid was it had fewer status ailments than Final Fantasy. And I didn't have to worry about that shit. Now it's like, don't forget to pack your Dazzle Me Knots and your blah, blah, blah. Like, as far as I remember, the original DQ3 had antidote herbs and full moon herbs for paralysis. And that's it. And now there's stuff to get rid of if you're dazzled, if you're stop spelled, if you're whatever. And now that, you know, they let more enemies do that to you. And all that does is fuck up the balance of the game and make trivial battles harder than they should be.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like FF, doesn't it? In terms of like, oh, you better be ready for all these status ailments. Whereas I don't think I ever worried about that much in DQ.
It carries over to bosses as well. Like I died to the King Hydra fight at the end of the game because now it can breathe breath and put everyone to sleep, and it gets 3 turns. And guess what? One of those turns is going to be used putting you to fucking sleep. Why add that?
Oh,
I
dear.
don't, like if you're trying to make it harder, that's not the way to do it.
I guess you would need an anti-sleep accessory, right?
And yeah, they do exist. That's the other thing is like, yeah, now I gotta plan out and equip this anti-sleep accessory before the battle, and then remember to unequip it. Oh, the next boss is a paralysis guy. Now I gotta equip the anti-paralysis accessory on everybody. It's this just clicked for me right now. That's why they gave everybody a second accessory slot. Is for that bullshit.
Yeah.
Because this game has 2 accessory slots.
Oh.
That's why. Because they want you to play their dumb fucking status ailment game. I'm not playing it.
I think he's playing it.
I actually finished the game on screen. On screen? I wasn't playing it in my head. I did this on a monitor. I actually finished the game on stream yesterday, I believe.
Yes.
And afterwards, I saved my game and cut stream, and I had lunch, and then I came back to the game like, all right, let's do the post-game content. And I played for about half an hour before just sadly closing it and being like, I don't think I want to play this anymore. Because I got to the bonus dungeon, and it's hard content, of course. It's a bonus dungeon, but my guys are pretty tough, and with some effort, we can take out enemy groups. It's not too bad, but it's taken me a very long time. And eventually I'm just like, all right, you know what? Look, I've seen this before in other versions. Look, I'm the weirdo who got all gold monster medals twice in the Game Boy Color version of the game.
Yeah.
I've put in my DQ hours. I can afford to cheese this. And so I set it to easy where you don't die. You basically, your HP goes down to 1. It doesn't go below that.
Right.
And it still takes me 5 to 10 minutes to do any random battle. Even if I use the automatic battle thing, or if I just hammer the attack, or if I slow down and I choose my most powerful stuff, it still takes too long, even when I'm immortal. I don't think I got to the second floor of the dungeon because halfway through a battle at some point, I was just like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
What is this for? I'm not enjoying any of this.
I guess in that sense, like the world map sort of becomes like the the icon of what this bloated feeling is. And to go back to the world map, like I also want to make the point, like this is the first of their HD 2D games that has a world map.
Yes.
Not that that necessarily means anything, but when you think about what this franchise, this imprint or whatever is kind of standing for, then you think, oh, I think they stepped a little bit too far over the line to try and like encapsulate what the meaning of HD 2D would be. Because if someone is nostalgic for the 2D type of RPG look and wants the HD version or whatever, they still might want the somewhat smaller world map. The one that you can just, track across fairly easily.
Yeah,
like that harnesses that more than just making it larger like the modern games are.
Yeah.
The graphics part settled. Okay, yes, your graphics are modern enough, and it's very cute that you put pixel graphics over nice, lush 3D things. It's very good. People seem to enjoy it. That part is the modern part you got right. You don't have to then try and bloat it out.
Yeah.
Just because of some weird notion, or maybe they got the wrong feedback, the wrong kind of user feedback. Maybe they talked to too many little kids that were like, why can't I run why can't I have a larger open world?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, they felt compelled to embiggen every environment, and I could almost understand making the dungeons bigger, but like as a concession, can I have the small world map back? Why make the world map just a huge sprawl? Like, this isn't Breath of the Wild. You don't need to do this.
No, it's Dragon Quest 3.
Yeah, I make it sound worse than it is, but it's probably at least 3 times bigger than the original game. Things are spaced out so far.
No, yeah, you feel it for sure. And it's become the thing that I think people are sort of criticizing the most.
Yeah.
It's like, this feels kind of big and bloated, and it doesn't have to, because it's Dragon Quest 3. It's not Dragon Quest 11. It's not going to be 12 or whatever. And it raises the question of what will happen now with the remakes of 1 and 2.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
Try and tighten it up.
Are they taking this feedback and using it wisely or not?
Or how far along are 1 and 2?
Oh boy.
And can this be fixed? Or, scaled back a bit?
The other thing I'm kind of on the fence about is the new story elements they've added. Some of it I thought was okay, but some of it, I don't know, like they add this whole subplot about your father's helmet and how he first got it because it was a gift from his friends, and then he gave it to a guy, and then you find it and you have to repair it now. And that's a subplot where you have to go get this special ore. And then when he dies, your father feels your helmet and he's like, oh, feels like you've been through many battles, whoever you are. And it's like, no, that scene was already touching enough. Like the way that I described this on Blue Sky was like, it feels like a version of The Godfather where they spliced in all of the deleted scenes and then spliced in all of the bloopers. It's just everything. It's so much shit that you don't need, that doesn't really fit the rest of the game, that it did fine without this. But you're doing it for the sake of content. It's like, well, everyone expects a lot from this remake. We got to throw in all this extra shit. No, you don't.
Right. Well, they did.
Cool.
Deal with it.
I'm not against reimaginings of games. Like I think stuff like Final Fantasy Remake, where you are straight up reimagining a game, I think that's good. I think that has merit. I think that has value. I kind of wish they'd done that instead of whatever this is. I kind of wish they'd taken some of these ideas and been like, no, you know what? We're doing a full-on reimagining of DQ3. But trying to cram those into the original structure just feels gross and weird.
Yeah. Well, of course, we were talking about this last time with the Silent Hill stuff and how I was saying remakes are okay.
Yes.
Generally, if they are pulled off. You think about the stakes behind any remake of a big name game, and you sort of entrust that people recognize the stakes and that they may just well pull it off. That hasn't happened too much these days, but not a lot of examples. Not a lot to like build a real case for what I'm saying. But what we have seen so far is pretty well good. But then we get to Dragon Quest 3, and it's like, yes, Dragon Quest 3 is good. I guess we can call this remake good, but it has such a different feel from the original that the things that should be connecting with our memories aren't. And maybe what should be connecting with the new audience, the younger audience, was maybe a misfire. Because who can really say if some younger player cares about the size of the world map, for example?
Yeah.
They might expect, the fast travel in a sense, and they might appreciate that the zoom costs 0 MP. But that's just like a drop in the bucket. Like, does it actually end up connecting with the person the same way that the entire game did with us, right? So
my secret hope, I think the best thing that can come from this is a kid plays this and then goes to their dad and said, "Hey, Dad, DQ3 kind of sucks." And then their dad's like, "No, wait, what if you played this 8 or 16-bit version?" And then the kid is like, "Oh, wait, actually, yeah, this is really good." That's the best thing that could come out of this.
This had me wondering what the point of the first remake was for Super Famicom. Like, what were they going for with that?
I think that was just money.
Sure.
Original DQ3 was a humongous, like they knew it was going to be a hit, but it still exceeded expectations. And when you have not just a franchise, but an installment that is that, but it was the FF7 of its day. Let's say that. It was the FF7 of its day, where it's just an invincible title. Everyone's going to want to buy it. And so they did a remake on the Super Famicom to make it look a lot better and play a lot better.
It wasn't even 10 years old at that point.
I know. Hey, man, it was a different time. It was
the same thing with Mario All-Stars, I guess.
Yeah, right. Why not do more of those? Where's my Amagon remake?
Amagon All-Star.
Top 5 remakes you want to see of NES games on the SNES. Number 1, obviously, Wrath of the Black Manta. Number 2, what's that art game with the tiger on it that we talked about?
Videomation?
Videomation! Remake that shit. But we have Mario Paint. Shut the fuck up! Home Alone 2. Game Genie. I guess there is one.
There already is a Super Nintendo Game Genie.
All right, fine. Maniac Mansion.
All right. Fantastic.
Cool.
Didn't fans do like a remake of Maniac Mansion?
Probably.
Yes, something like that. Now, are you talking about the Jalico version or the LucasArts NES version?
LucasArts. No, Jalico.
Okay. Great. You want Jalico back, baby.
You don't have to tell me. Their logo kind of looks like those barriers in Dragon Quest.
Yes, Alex.
Thanks for humoring me, Ray.
Yes, of course. And that means Dragon Quest 3
Gokutai Kudasai
gets our buzzer of the week.
Yeah, I give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay. Well, I give it a 3 out of 3.
Oh, wait. Who uses a 3-point rating scale?
It's called Dragon Quest 3. What do you expect?
Oh, all right. That's the thing, is I can't get mad at it because it looks great. It looks fine. The QOL stuff is nice. The mini map. So I started the game on the highest difficulty because I'm a DQ3 weirdo and I wanted the challenge. And it was actually too easy until about the pyramid. And then once I got to the pyramid, just like the original game, it starts getting really hard. And I was like, all right, this is a bit much. And so while I was off stream and grinding, I just put it on the easiest difficulty. So I stopped dying. And then I realized they've kind of buffed all the enemies so that I think I'd just rather play this way.
Yeah.
And then it removed all the challenge. And then I started getting in my own head about like, well, if the developer gives you an option to be invincible, we're not all going to take that option all the time. But if it's a game you've played 100 times, I probably am. Like if this was DQ12 and they gave you an invincibility option, I don't think I would turn that on the first playthrough.
Yeah.
I had the same realization with FF7. I bought FF7, OG FF7 on the Switch, and I got about halfway through, and I was like, oh man, I'm going to have to grind to learn this spell to do this boss. And then I'm like, oh no, I can just be invincible anytime I want. I forgot.
Yeah.
And then I was just invincible for the rest of the game because, yeah, I've beaten that game a bunch of times. Who cares?
Yeah, of course. And like, that's not necessarily a remake, but a lot of people were introduced to the game for the first time, even then.
Yes.
And so you think about like, well, what kind of impact does that make on your expectations?
Is it to get the kids excited about the remakes by giving them an easy version that they can't lose in?
Well, it doesn't hurt.
That's true.
I guess.
All right. I guess, yeah, I see that more in DQ3 now as well. Like, no kids are going to want to play this slow turn-based shit that their dads enjoy, so we better make them invincible.
Sure, you can think of it that way. Yeah.
I think that in their minds, they really were making something for everybody.
Oh, yeah. I think that's always really the goal.
But I don't think it worked out that way. I think, you know what? I'm very curious to see what younger players think of the DQ3 remake in any territory.
Right.
Like, how is it reviewing among like 20-somethings?
All right, let's ask some.
All right. You there.
I like to play Genesis.
It's not on that.
No.
It's on Steam.
Lufia. They didn't do that either.
PlayStation 5, top 5 SNES games you'd like to see ported to NES. Number 1, Lufia.
Okay. Top 5 PlayStations.
Number 2, Mario Paint.
Now, I don't have a great emotional attachment to Dragon Quest III, so I'm not entirely upset whether this is any good or not. But I will say to all the people who have been begging for years now for Square Enix to make an HD 2D Chrono Trigger, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah. I feel like it's only a matter of time now, and I'm not looking forward to it. If they don't learn the lesson here that they need to learn, which is don't make every environment huge. Yeah. Please try to... When I talk about old JRPGs, I like to use terms like tight and economical a lot because like that's the best way to describe the feeling that I like about those games is...
And you're a finance bro.
And I'm a big finance bro. But hey, to the moon, bitch! I like that these games move swiftly, but give you the chance... See, now that we're doing this on camera, I can see you laughing. It makes me laugh. I like that these games move along at a healthy clip, so to speak. It doesn't take too long to get places, but if you want, you can take time out to explore or grind or do whatever. That's not the feel that I'm getting from DQ3, and it's, yeah. I just hope they kind of realize where they're losing people with these decisions.
Yep. We'll see. See what happens with 1 and or 2.
Yeah.
But until then, we have Suikoden 1 and 2 to look forward to. See how much they screwed that up.
You know what? That looks fine because all the screenshots and stuff I've seen, they respect the scale of the original game. Yeah, and that's important to do. Respect the scale.
That'll be the title of the video.
If you're going to make everything huge, you better be adding not just shit piles of copper swords in the forest, but like you need to be adding new towns and places to go to fill this out. Not sparkly horseshit.
Are all wrong.
I'm well aware.
I'm Ray.
Pilot wings.
Alex, to the producer of DQ3.
I'm asking you to go to the kitchen, pull out a knife, and jam it into your fucking gut.
Not fatally, but it has to be done. How much of that was Art Dink and how much was Square Enix, I wonder?
Oh, God. I'm sure it's just Square Enix doing everything. I mean, doing the direction.
Yeah.
Art Dink is there just to make the thing.
Yeah.
They all have all the technical portions going on. I haven't seen the credits, so who knows? But, you know, that sort of situation is definitely just like Art Dink is our workhorse. They made Triangle Strategy for us. They're doing pretty good with that. So,
yeah. Okay.
And these other guys screwed up at some point. So let's get Art Dink in here to finish this up. Love that Art Dink, though.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with an Art Dink. No sirree, Bob.
Very expensive.
You love that, don't you?
I really do.
How do you live your life?
One day at a time, Jimmy. I'm also kind of miffed they took out Parcheesi because that was one of my favorite distractions. That's some shit you could have used to dot the giant map you just made. Put some Parcheesi tracks on that. They're gone now.
Okay.
They were a fun distraction. You get on a track, you roll some dice, you get some free shit maybe. It's fun. It's sanctioned gambling.
Yes. Fun for all children. They loved it back in 88 and they'll love it again.
I can't allow myself to get hooked on Pachi slot and whatever the fuck else.
Yeah.
Blackjack. But you know what? I do like Parcheesi. I like to roll a die. Here, check this out. 4. Now, it's a D20, so that's not great.
Right.
1.
Now we're in the Hall of Judgment.
Stop judging me.
I'm Rebecca.
All right. Yeah,
Well,
you know what? I'm good where I am with DQ3. I have zero interest in going back to finish the post-game content. It's mostly the same from what I hear anyway. There's some added stuff where you have to use specific weapons. All right.
That's fine.
We're not. Yeah, here's the thing. I've never even used the new class, Monster Mash. What's it called? Monster Wrangler.
Uh-huh.
I never even used it because my plan was I want one for endgame. So I'm going to level up my warrior and martial artist, and I'm going to have them learn all of their skills because, of course, there's an achievement for learning every ability in the game. Once one of them learns all their skills, I'll change them into a monster wrangler. And then, along the course of the game, I realized I'm not enjoying this. I don't want to continue. I don't even care about these achievements. We're done.
So long, Dragon Quest.
Bye.
Now on to our next topic.
Saga!
No, just kidding.
Oh.
Once again, I need to play more Romancing Saga 2 and Dragon Quest 3, so I'm failing. Whatever.
Well, I'm going to play the part of the stern father who wags a finger over you and says, I'm going to sit here and watch you until you smoke every last one of these classic RPGs.
All right, but I got a job to do also. Like, I got to do work.
Oh, right.
So.
Can you just hire somebody to do that?
Yeah. Fair enough. I could hire someone to play Romancing Saga 2 for me.
Oh, yeah.
Optimus.
All right, whatever. Should we take another break?
That's a great idea. Let's take a
how
quick.
to run a show.
We are gonna. Don't worry. I'll take over for you.
Okay.
Brett's Lake a take. Fuck.
I'm listening.
We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Honda Days. I'm Alex. That's Ray.
I thought it was Toyota-thon.
It can't be two things.
Oh, Jesus. Chevy Rama.
Renzoku Lexus.
And that's 2 Chevy jokes for me today, sorry.
Hang on.
Renzoku Lexus. Sorry, it just hit me. Yes, perfect.
Ford Matsuri? I don't know. Welcome back to No More Whoppers. This is segment 3 of the show. This is where we get a little introspective. We talk about things or animals that have scared us lately. Raymond, what's going on in your life? To bring us into the deep down, share with us some pain that you've experienced.
I've not been scared by any animals. Is that what you mean?
Okay, good. Yeah, no, okay,
Yeah.
you're good. No, neither have I. I was just, I need something to lead into the segment.
No more crow attacks.
Yeah, no more of that shit. Every time I see them now, I have my eyes trained on them until they're either out of view or I hit a car.
Nice.
It's not ideal, but I've not been attacked by a crow since that time. Also, as the days go by, I'm less and less worried about having tetanus.
Oh, yeah, well, that's good.
because I made the mistake of looking it up online and, like, hey, how soon does tetanus start to kick in if you contract it? And it's like, well, it can, symptoms can appear anywhere from 1 week to 10 months. And I'm like, oh, all right.
Okay.
Which
Well,
was one of the reasons I went to see a doc about it, and he seemed unconcerned. So I'm unconcerned, but you never know. I've also got the paranoia brain. I've
You do.
got stress head. Yeah. I
is
hate
that what
it.
this segment is?
It is. No, I wanted to talk about I had my first public foray into going out and socializing in my post-bar life.
Wow.
And
okay.
that was I went to there's a monthly gathering of musicians called Ham Jam in a nearby bar.
Okay.
That
And why is it called that?
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, the jam part I think is music related. I don't know what the ham part is. I don't know if it's hamster or pork centric. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, right.
I was invited by my buddy Paul, who was there playing guitar and bass. He sounded great. I also there's also a couple other folks who frequented the bar. Kurt and Adam, very nice guy. Adam actually gave me the giant plasma TV like 8 years ago.
Okay.
I asked him if he wanted it back. He said no.
Yeah.
One of the things I was worried about when I knew I was closing the bar was I'm going to need a way to not devolve into a Howard Hughes style hermit who is just a weirdo who stays inside every day streaming and podcasting. I need to get out. No, I needed to get out and socialize and do something. And it turns out I don't think this was the way. Because
You're right.
it was, I'll say this. Anytime music was happening on stage, I was having a great time. The music component is great and fun. And it was great to hear Paul play.
How are the lyrics?
Outstanding.
Okay.
It was nice to hear people that I know play and enjoy playing music. And it was fun to be there in the crowd. And I really enjoyed a lot of the performances. Anytime music was not playing, I was basically in a cat-like state of readiness, just very uncomfortable to be around so many people. I think it was my mistake because I sat up front close to the stage, which is where a lot of people are, but it's a very small venue and I didn't want to take up a whole table, if it's just me.
Oh,
But,
it was just you.
Well, I mean, Paul was there, but he was, he was also on stage. He was also going back and forth and doing guitar stuff, and he was
But
busy.
you didn't know anyone else.
I did, but like, what I realized is I can't really talk to people, even if I do know them, if it's a loud environment.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there were people there that I wanted to say hi to that I haven't seen in years. There's a very nice couple who used to host the open mics that I used to do comedy at. And I wanted to go up to them and say, hi, how you doing? And I couldn't because there was just so much noise.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew that I wouldn't be able to understand anything coming out of their mouths. And so I just didn't. And so I think we made eye contact at one point, like, hey, aren't you that person from like 12 years ago?
Uh-huh.
And that's as far as it went because my sensitivity to noise and sensitivity to crowds both kicked in very hard and shut off every single part of my head that would communicate or receive communication from another person. I could not do anything. It felt terrible.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And it extra sucks because I want to get out and socialize and I want to support my friends and I want to go to things like this, but not if I'm completely uptight and miserable the entire time. Like,
right. Well, it's like, hey, is the best first date idea really the movies? So is the first socializing idea always a loud
maybe not
event?
Yeah, maybe I should have worked up to that. That's on me.
Yeah.
I gotta work up. I think
It is on you. It's all your fault.
I'm excited though to go to a nice Christmas gathering at my buddy Jason's house later this month. That will be nice. That will be low key, having fun, eating holiday foods, maybe watching the thing on a television. I don't even know.
TV. I've heard of that.
It's controlled by NBC.
I was afraid you were going to say something else.
Oh no.
Controlled by who? Never mind.
Oh boy.
Right. Onward we go. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm also considering joining a smaller club of calm people, if I can find that anywhere. I would love to just join a group of people who sit in a room quietly together and I don't know, pass notes. I haven't thought this through.
You haven't really thought it through, have you?
I need something, but it can't be loud or full of crowds. I can't do it. It's one of the reasons I'm hanging up the bar is I'm tired of loud people and people I don't know. Loud people I don't know is the worst combination.
Well, we know you love going to Komeda.
Yes.
Is there a similar coffee house you could go to?
Komeda Club. Oh,
Oh yeah, Komeda Club. You can start that.
we went to Bucho for lunch yesterday. That's a nice quiet coffee place.
Oh,
The one down the hill. We talked about it before.
yeah, we did. I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was like enough of an indoor space. You know what I mean? Like I've always seen the street view, and I thought it was just like a tiny sort of
Oh no, it's
stand.
it's probably about the size of the bar in terms of square footage.
Ew. All
Yeah,
right.
it's spacious enough.
But with coffee
But with coffee, and they have a
instead of
good
alcohol.
coffee.
It's
Actually,
like it's like a old JRPG.
yeah, exactly. It's it says it used to say pub, now it says cafe.
Yeah. You used to say brothel, now it says inn.
No, now it says broth. Well, we don't have time to rewrite the whole sprite. Can we just cut off those 2 letters? All right,
Yeah.
boy. Hey, you ever notice how we both sound like this? I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, coming in for a nice sexy soup.
Mom, how come Dad really loves soup?
These soups are the hottest you've ever seen.
Just a sign out front that says soups.
Well, in Japan, they call them soup land.
Oh, love a good barley legal soup.
All right, I think we're veering too much into Victor Island territory.
Oh no. Okay, yeah.
Yay. Anyway.
Is he ever going to reunify with Victor Northern Ireland? Did I say that already?
You say it, I think, every time.
Okay, good. Oh,
You weirdo.
Yeah.
Well, we wish your social experiments luck as we do all of those.
great.
Yeah. I'm okay. I don't need any of that stuff. I don't need to feel important.
I don't need to feel
I don't
important. I just need to feel
no, I'm
human.
sorry. It was a joke. It was a joke.
Oh,
That's what I meant to say. I don't need to feel human. I'm good.
no. It helps though. It helps you not feel like a weird hermit.
Yeah, but the loudness is also a thing I don't like.
Yeah. See.
I did plenty of going to bars and similar events held at bars during my 1UP days. And that was like, yeah, I'll go because it is a social thing. And it's not like I hate everybody. So, of course, I'll go to the thing and check out. Sometimes it's just an event where a company is showing off a bunch of games on kiosks and it just happens to be at a club or a bar. It's like, yeah, well, I guess I have no choice if I have to cover it. But otherwise, yes, I've been at bars just for plain social functions and still didn't really like it. Too loud.
Too loud.
Because I'm already not a yeller. And so I can only yell for a short amount of time. I know I've talked about this before on the show, before I get all scratchy and such. And you add alcohol into the mix, I'm like, I can yell maybe one sentence and I'm done.
Then you add alcohol to the mix. Your chances of having fun drastic go down.
Yeah. Well, for me, I just got to sleep.
Now that I think back on it, even when I was drinking and I was hanging out in loud bars, like I was still shouting to communicate with people. And I think that's where the problem comes in is I have a different loudness threshold than other people. So like I kind of have to I don't know if it's just because my hearing's good. I have sensitive hearing. Shut up. I have sensitive everything.
Yeah, huh?
But the hearing, I don't know how this works. I'm not a doctor. But my ears become used to loud noises when the minimum threshold is loud. Like I thought I was going to be uncomfortable with the music when I went to the Ham Jam, and it turns out, oh no, once a song starts going, once a bass volume is set, I'm good, I'm comfortable.
Right.
It's when that volume sticks out in a quiet room that I start to get kind of cagey. Or like, a loud motorcycle passes me on the street, I start to freak the fuck out. Like I want to yell at it, shut the fuck up. Anytime a motorcycle passes, I want to put down what I'm doing, turn to it and yell, will you shut the fuck up?
No, what the fuck? No, this is no.
Or say that. And I know that I can't do that.
It's a book.
No, you know what I'm trying to say.
Uh-huh.
But when I'm in a bar atmosphere, like my ears adjust to a different level than other people's. So sometimes I can't hear them at all. Sometimes I have to shout. And it's confusing because my hearing is ordinarily very good. I don't know if anybody else has experienced this or knows exactly what I'm trying to say. I'm not an ear doctor. I can't illustrate exactly the phenomenon that I'm talking about. Hey, everyone, I love FF6. That one I can. Hey, everyone, I love FF6.
What?
Is that the one with Terra?
Oximo.
Hey,
How are they doing?
I don't think they're great.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's all I got. I'm looking for a place where I can hang out with quiet people and do quiet things.
Where everybody knows your name.
Well, yeah, maybe like what was that?
Some
What
sort
was
of
that?
bar?
What was that Cheers bar?
You know what, Alex? I think maybe you might be at a disadvantage because you just closed your bar.
What do you mean?
You could have had your place. No, I'm kidding. I know. But God, you close a bar and now you're trying to find another bar-like establishment?
Well,
I don't envy you.
You know what they say. God never closes a bar without opening a bar.
God does that?
Oh, yeah. Vera said that? You think God has a drinking problem?
Oh, yeah. I mean, what hasn't he had?
Wait a minute. I think God never closes a bar without opening a bar because he's trying to keep his hands on a liquor license. God's based in New Jersey, right? Outstanding. We have some voicemails, I believe. If you want to give us a call, it's 805 NMW Talk or 805-669-8255. We have one call this month. I think I know who it's from.
Okay.
Let's give it a listen.
'Tis the season.
It is. Is that short for something? I thought it was it is the season.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to play this call. Here we go.
Hi, Ray and Alex from Bridgeville calling. First-time caller. I did go to see Taylor Swift. You guys were talking about her. Here was my dilemma when it happened. So I have 2 daughters. It was a Christmas gift, family of 4 going. It was about $800 for the tickets.
Oh.
Got them online in the pre-sale, lucky. On the day of the concert, or the week leading up, we could sell each ticket for $2,500. So I'm sitting there like, I could make 10 grand, well, 10 grand minus 800, and just have this money, or we could all go to Taylor Swift. What would you do? Would you do the experience or just keep the money? We went. She was good.
Great.
And your daughters loved you, right?
Yeah.
For it.
Boy, that's I would just
do their homework and take out the trash.
Thank you, Ray and Alex from Bridgeville. I would just make sure that your daughters know exactly that situation. Just explain that. I'm sure you already have. Oh wow. Yeah.
I usually don't think about that kind of thing after the fact, like once the money's spent, I try not to think about it, or not try not. I mean, I just don't. But,
yeah.
I think my wife is more sensitive to that. Maybe she would be the one to be like, we should just sell the damn tickets.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
I don't. Yeah, I'm the same way. Once I spend money on something, I don't think about it anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's really the way you should live.
Yeah. Although it came back, it kind of came back to annoy me this week because we went to our annual tenant meeting for the building, which I'll probably get into more on the bonus show.
Right.
But
you can just post that on Patreon.
One of the things that kind of surprised me was the guy who's in charge of the meetings is the guy he runs like the whole maintenance committee. He controls the bank account for all the communal funds and everything. He
controls the banks.
He's basically it's NBC. He's basically the manager of the entire building. And he made an off the cuff comment about how me and my wife overpaid for our unit, and we're like, we didn't know that. We didn't hear anything about that. Like, all right. He's like, yeah, we were all kind of surprised that you paid that much for it. We're like, well, thanks, but little late now. Hey man, where were you 2.5 years ago?
All right. Any more faux pas you want to share with us?
Like, yeah, everybody along the chain of buying it was like, no, if you want it, then you should buy it, which I think is always actually good advice. But like, I don't know. Wish I'd had that perspective going in. Yeah, just frustrating. He didn't need to say that. He just kind of felt he had to.
Right. Not that anyone said that sort of same thing to me, but I was in a situation where it's just like, yeah, this is what I should just do. I have no other option. It's this, or I am permanently unsatisfied. So I know it's not great. Let's just go with it. Sorry for being so vague, but I'll talk about it in another 2 years.
No, I understand what you're talking about. It's the gorilla thing.
Yeah,
All
right.
right.
Oh yeah, he'll pay.
Yeah, you really hate Donkey Kong Land.
Oh yeah, we got to go there. That's right.
All right.
You and I got to make a trip to Osaka, I guess.
That's right. And we're dressing up. I'm Diddy, or did you want to be Donkey?
Is it like Disney rules where you can't exactly dress as the same character?
So we just both show up wearing brown suits and red ties. Oh, that's such a good idea.
Yeah, we're Donkey Kong's helpers.
Oh, that's good. He's very busy this time of year.
Oh man.
Oh shit.
That's pretty good.
Oh, let's do it.
We
Brown
should do
suits. I'm in. God damn it.
They have to be big like David Byrne suits.
Oh man. Kong making sense? I don't know. I got nothing.
Oh, that's an episode title.
We have fun.
We have a lot of Donkey Kong episode titles. Why not?
We
add that
do.
to me?
This is a very Kong-centric show.
Oh boy. Oh right, that was our voicemail.
Oh yes. Thanks for calling in, Smoo. We know it's you. Folks, if you want to get in on this telephone train, you can call us at 805 NMW Talk, which is 805-669-8255. What?
Can I make a comment about Taylor Swift?
Yes. Tay-Tay.
Do you know the name of like her latest album? Have you seen the title of this?
Taylor
Kev,
Swift.
have you seen this?
I want to say Factory Showroom. Miscellaneous Tea.
You got it on the brain again.
Severe tire damage. Lincoln. John Henry. Join Us. Mink Car. These are not in order. No, what is it?
Her last one was released last year, and it was called The Tortured Poets Department.
Oh, right. That's, yeah.
I was just like, you're 34 years old. Why are you coming up with album titles like this? I mean, I know your audience is a lot of teenage girls. You don't actually have to title the albums as if you're still a teenage girl.
It almost feels like she had just had a very lovely afternoon. She had a nice lunch, maybe like a chicken salad sandwich, and she watched Dead Poets Society and was like, that's a cool name.
Yeah, right.
How can I do a name that's like similar to that for my next album, but not exactly the same?
Yeah. Legally distinct.
Yeah.
There's no overt references to Robin Williams or anything.
Exactly.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's it's the same thing. It's like, it's not even that original.
Yeah. You know?
Like, Jesus Christ, lady.
Yeah, it's like if I put out an album called The Second Wives Club.
Yeah.
Right.
Very I don't know if you were going to leave this in, but you said the word chunibyo the other day. I mean, earlier in the show.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's also just like a very teenage thing.
I struggle with this as I try more and more to write fiction. And that is, anytime I write a character or a sentence, I start obsessing over, is that a little too emo? Is that a little like, I know this character needs depth and needs a history and needs problems, but like, is that it? Because that feels very Chunibyo, trying to put together characters and write stories. Like, I think trying to write any kind of fiction, you can't help but feel like you are 12 years old in a creative writing class. I don't know. Like, it was my major and I still feel awkward doing it.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, the most creative was when I was 14 and 15.
Oh, really? I can see that.
Well, in terms of the writing, sure. That was probably my peak. And so I whenever I hear Chunibyo, I'm like, yeah, so
That's
Like
yeah.
everybody, I feel like a lot of people was just like at their creative peak in such a way because they had been absorbing all their favorite stuff.
Yes.
And it just, boiled over into an essay or a paper or an attempt at a novel or something.
Yeah.
Was
Oh, yeah.
cringe.
I went through a period of, but this was before we had a computer, but we had a word processor.
Oh, yes.
And before that, I did this with my mom's typewriter because my mom had like one of the last top of the line typewriters that could actually delete marks off the paper if you misspelled a word. It was wild.
Wow, magic.
And I would do this with the typewriter. I would take the typewriter up to my bed, or I would sit in the office, my dad's office, on the word processor, and I would write out like dramatic not fan fiction, but dramatic retellings of video game stories. Like after I finished Super Metroid, I'm like, I gotta write down this whole story. And I went down to the word processor and just wrote down all the events of Super Metroid in a dramatic way.
Have I mentioned before my attempt to novelize Final Fantasy VI?
Oh dear. Wow, 6?
I got one. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
You want to guess how far I got?
Narsh.
No, I mean just the length of the thing.
Oh, 1 page.
You're absolutely correct.
Wow, okay.
But I did get the logo and make it put it in the Word doc at the top.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so okay. Hey, that's a big deal.
Made it official that way.
Wow. Narsh, the coldest place on the planet, but is there nothing colder than the soul of man?
I wish I was that creative.
Espers, some say they're bad. Others want them for their power. I think they're bad.
So yeah, you tried to novelize Super Metroid?
Super Metroid, yes. Then I got into fan fiction. Then I did an FF4, FF6 crossover fanfic.
Yeah.
FF7 fan fiction. I think that might have been it. That didn't last very long.
I did write a Monty Python ripoff play.
Oh.
For a drama class.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I have not even consumed all of the Monty Python content, but I had the CD-ROM of the Holy Grail.
Now that's the one that famously has 3 sides.
Yeah, sure.
I'm kidding. That's the record. They put out a vinyl. They put out a record that had 3 sides.
Yeah, right.
They had there was side A, side B, and then side C, which was like a set of grooves that was within another one of the set of grooves.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Once again, I've not consumed all that content, but I thought I could write like it. So there you go.
Well, I'm looking forward to our collabo where Samus meets Boku. Are they friends?
Okay.
Do they mix?
I don't know. Maybe.
All
We
right.
could try it.
Samus-kun, Gohanyo. All right.
Hey, breaking news.
Hi.
They just announced Tetris the Grandmaster 4.
For what?
Steam.
Oh! Yeah. All right. I think our pal Jackie will be into that. She's a big Tetro. Is that the word?
Sure, Alex.
Cool.
No, that's the name of the blocks.
That's Tetramino.
No.
Tetramino sounds like the name of a medicine that a Tetramino would take.
They used to be called Tetraminos.
Tetraminos? Like
Then they
dominoes?
changed it- that was the idea, I guess.
Oh.
But then they changed it to Tetramino.
All right. I just listened to the Stuff You Should Know episode about the history of Tetris. So I feel like I'm up on all this info.
Yeah. You didn't also buy and play Tetris Forever?
No.
Darn.
Should I?
Sure, why not?
All right.
Well, if you already know the story from an unauthorized source, I guess it's okay.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah, what's up?
Explain this to me.
Yeah.
Appending forever to the title of something. This has confused me since Batman Forever, because as a child, there was Batman. There was Batman Returns, which I understood to be Batman 2. What does Batman Forever signify? Like, he's just going to keep doing this? The movie doesn't end? What is the point of calling something forever?
It means we love Batman and we want him around forever.
We love him so much, we're going to sacrifice a good name for this movie to call it Batman Forever.
Well, Alex, I think the easy analog here is the Stars and Stripes Forever.
Right.
That's all I got.
All right, John Philip Sousa, what's his stance on Batman?
That's the only thing I can think of when we append forever to things.
Okay. You think it's from Stars and Stripes Forever?
It's kind of like a reference to that, yeah.
Okay.
Or, long live the queen, that sort of thing.
This ties it back to Monty Python because Sousa, of course, wrote the Washington Post March.
Yeah.
All right.
He did a lot of good work.
I'm always humbled when you do these things intentionally.
Well, you know why? You and me are just so on the level.
I know.
We're just like this.
It's
Yeah.
great. I love it. Oh,
Craziness.
fun. What were we talking about even?
We're so agreeable.
I thought you were going to say aggressive, but they both work.
No, we've never been aggressive to each other. We're here to stay. Sticking
That's right.
together is what good waffles do.
Yes. Oh, Good Waffles is not a bad name for a podcast.
Not that original, I'd guess.
Oh, yeah. Not like No More Whoppers. Let's close it out, folks. Thank you for listening. I'm going to toss it over to Ray, who does the outro.
You are not as practiced with the
I'm
outro.
not. I can't do it.
You tune out as soon as I start talking.
I do.
Okay, can you pay attention now? Here I'm
All
going
right,
to do the out.
I'm paying attention.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. Go to our website, nomorewhoppers.com. There you can find all of our goodies, as well as a link to our Patreon, patreon.com/nomorewhoppers. That's how you can support us monetarily, the best way. You can support us for $1 a month to be a gold subscriber, or $5 a month to be a golder subscriber, and get this show a week early, ad-free. It's still it's perpetually ad-free either way right now. And of course, our bonus shows that we've done so far, 3 of them, yes, including the ongoing sassafras in our limbo here as we still continue to plan our next big show, which will be a part of this whole thing. But again, because of all the crap I'm doing the rest of this year, we're not going to really get to anything until next year, January. So stay tuned. I just want to once again reinforce that we're doing okay. Please don't stop supporting us. God, please. Please, God.
If you are supporting us, you're doing the right thing.
Yes. If you go to nomorewhoppers.com, you'll also find a link to our Discord. Because the link is too complicated to say here, but it's free for all. You can just come on in. You don't need Patreon. It's all good. Come on in and say hi. And of course, our merch site, shop.spreadshirt.com/nomorewhoppers. I haven't checked it in a while. Is it still up? I don't know. That's still a business that's up? Well, anyway, we sell shirts and buttons and stickers and other good things maybe that are still not updated and haven't been in 10 years. But god dang it, it's still there. If you want a No More Whoppers logo shirt, perhaps.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
a logo
I got to get
stickers.
one of those. I don't even have one of those.
Yeah. Now that Critical Hit's gone, you can take off your Critical Hit shirt and put on your No More Whoppers shirt.
Gonna.
Yeah. And
Oh, yeah. I might have mentioned this last episode, but there might also be a way to produce more of those Critical Hit shirts if any folks want to buy those. Those might just become a No Mo Woe exclusive in the future. We'll see.
Hey, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'll get behind that.
All right.
I bet you thought I wouldn't say that.
A little bit.
Guess what? I'm on board, bitch.
Oh, God.
And of course, our phone number. You can leave us a voicemail at 805-NMW-TALK. That's a United States phone number. That is 805-669-8255. You can discuss things that we talked about on the show, like our friend Ray and Alex did just a little bit ago.
Please keep it under 60 seconds.
Yep, keep it brief.
Ideally,
Try to be
60
funny.
seconds. Try to be hilarious.
You
On
don't have to be like us.
Work on your tight 60.
Yeah, we're not. I mean, listen, you don't have to be expert comedians like us.
We're not, we're more professional buffoons. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
strictly comedy.
There you go, tearing yourself down.
Yeah.
We're trying to bring people up here.
We are.
Tell them to do the best voicemail they can.
What's my YouTube channel slogan? Wellness through folly. That's what we.
All right.
That's what we do.
Well, that's a good segue. Alex, who are you on the internet?
Hi, I'm Alex. Let me take that again. Hi, I'm Alex. You can find me at patooey.org or on Blue Sky at patooey.org. Or on Twitch at Hooded Patooey. Just you can go to patooey.org. All my stuff is there. You know me. I was at your dad's wedding. We go way back. Thanks for hanging out with us. Oh, I've solidified a charity for this month's charity stream, which is going to kick off on December 21st and run through the 28th to benefit the Trevor Project, which is a support network for LGBTQ plus folks. And boy, with a new administration coming on in, I feel like things might not be outstanding for those folks in particular coming up. So we're going to try to raise some money for that over about a week. It's called the Dreams Change 2024 Celebrazione. We're going to stream Final Fantasy VII Fan Dub again, of course. I'm probably going to play through Unpacking because the creators visited the bar earlier this year, and it was so cool to meet them. And I think that kind of fits in with the theme of the whole stream as well. What else am I playing? That's up to you. We're going to talk about it. Show up on the Discord. Throw out some game ideas in the Al Stream channel. Let's talk about it. Raymond, what are you playing? I dropped my dice.
Well, my website is rdbaaa.space. You can find the links to all my main things there, including my social media, but I'm mostly on Blue Sky as rdbaaa.space. So you can find me there. And of course, I have my game company, Bipedal Dog, the website, bipedal.dog. And that's about it for right now. Holding until Alex get back to the mic. And
I'm back. Hi.
Okay. So what do you think? Good show? Bad show?
I think it was pretty good. Considering it's part of our economy line of slimmer shows, I think it did perfectly fine. I think we trimmed some of the fat. This is what DQ3 HD 2D Remake should have been, is this show. Is lean. All the information is there that you need, and we don't have to constantly use fancy new herbs on each other. But we will.
Well, just wait until they make the HD 2D remake of us. I'm already bloated.
They just make us huge? What is... Okay.
Yeah, I'm already a fatty. Anyway,
Hey.
Thanks, Alex, for being a good sport.
Anytime.
Everybody else, keep your nose clean, and we'll see you next time. Gold subscribers, stick around till after the show. Does Christmas Nights live up to its prequel, Boogie Nights? The answer coming up.
I think it would be really funny if just any of the Belmont clan, a Simon or a Richter or what have you, they had a novelty car horn that was I think that would be great. I think that'd be real cute. No?
Right.
And they get into a fender bender with Dracula, and they're just leaning on it.